So I gave a demo of Grasp back in 2021 at the Scheme Workshop, the online edition, and a lot has happened in those 3 years, so I owe you an update. So the thing that I've been demoing 3 years ago was just an S-expression editor, which wasn't hooked to the evaluator, and now I gave it the capability of evaluating expressions. Yeah, we can see that we can, I don't know, compute powers of 2 and things like this. We can also define functions. So here comes the famous factorial definition. I've gotten quite good at this over time, so I think it will go smoothly. I think also that that it might be speedrunning factorial definition in Grasp has the potential of being a good party game, if nothing else. Yeah, so if n is less than or equal to 1, we return 1. Otherwise, we return, oh shit. Yeah, it used to be better. I used to be better at this. Otherwise, we return the product of n and the factorial of, not of n, but of n minus 1. Okay, we see that it doesn't look very good, but we can grab the left parentheses and shake the phone. I think I lost the connection. Yeah, I need to replug it and see if it works. It doesn't, I'm sorry. Yeah, so as I said, maybe this time it will work. Yeah, I shaked it and it worked. So we evaluate the definition. We can see what's the value of factorial of 5. Oh, I see. No, I just made this wrong definition. Yeah, we see that it's 120. We can also get a factorial of 120, which is a more interesting result. So I made this around 3 years ago after the Scheme workshop. I hooked the evaluator and then I sort of hit the wall. So originally Grasp was written in Java, and I had to rewrite it completely from scratch. But Grasp was at that point powerful enough to express the list of its own problems. So the first problem was that it was written in Java, and this version that I'm showing you here is as well, and that it only ran on Android. I now have a new version of Grasp, which can also open the same slide. Sorry. Download Grasp. Problems with Grasp. I made this new cool feature that if I grab the parentheses, the right parentheses in a certain place, it adds spaces from that place on, which I think is neat. So Grasp is now entirely written in Java Scheme. It doesn't only run on Android. It had a problem that it had bugs but no tests, and I fixed that, and it has bugs and tests as well. It had no keyboard support and no undo, and now, yeah, maybe I can show you, because it used to only run on Android, but now I can run it from on Java desktop. Build Grasp desktop. Yeah, and it supports all the same things. I also have a version that runs in the terminal. Yeah, but I will now switch to the one that runs on desktop, or maybe the one on the phone. It's cooler probably. But yeah, so when I updated Grasp so that when it opens, it shows some help, some intro. Sorry, okay, so I see that the phone disconnected again, so I will be using the desktop version. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. I can maybe make it a little bit bigger or not. This is not my fault, this is JVM's fault. Yeah, so it supports the basic gestures, so I can split the screen using a mouse. It also supports copying by double-clicking and so on and so forth. It has some the option for undo, and it sometimes works. So if I type Control-Z, it sometimes undoes the previous operation. It's also integrated with clipboard, so I can, I don't know, select an expression, do Control-C, then do Control-V, and I get a copy of it. But yeah, and as you can see on this in this window, because the original client written in Java only supported atoms and lists, and now it also supports comments and strings. So I might show you what the document that is displayed in Grasp looks in the textual representation. Max assets intro. Yeah, so we can see that S expressions are represented as boxes. Single line comments are rendered using this fancy font. That's probably will have to change. Block comments are represented using boxes, and there's also a capability of having in Scheme. You can comment out single expressions by typing hash and semicolon, and if you type semicolon on that expression, it gets commented out. So if I save that document, they would look like identical now. But the most important piece of Grasp that has been implemented is what Leaf Andersen would probably call interactive visual syntax, or what I tend to call expressions. So the simplest kinds of expressions are the ones that you're, as Lisp programmers, already familiar with. So these are quotations, and Grasp implements quotations as a sort of expression. So if I, so in Grasp, expressions are just extensions in Grasp, or maybe I don't know, magic boxes, are just as expressions that have a particular form. So, for example, I have an extension called unquote, and if I move my cursor to the opening or closing parentheses of a given expression and press the tab key, then it tries to display it as an extension, so to speak. Yeah, and Grasp also, regarding quasi-quotation, it displays quasi-quotation of lists differently than quasi-quotation of atoms. So, but that's just a matter of representation, and I'm still experimenting with that. Another simple type of expressions is a button. So if you have an S expression that begins with the keyword button, capitalized, and has two keywords, label and action, then if I convert this to, or enchant it, then it will turn into a button. And you can see here, then when I press this button, the message button pressed is displayed. But why I came here is for this particular extension that I wrote, which is the visual stepper. So we can see that the definition of factorial is evaluated. I maybe remove these unnecessary comments to okay, so I have this expression that begins with the capital stepper symbol and contains an expression in it. And if I press tab, it turns into something that looks like video player a little bit, or maybe like racket stepper. And so you can see that it has some buttons. You can sort of guess what is their purpose. I can reveal the secret that this button isn't yet implemented. I'm trying to solve the halting problem, but it might take some time. So now, the stepper only implements the sort of substitutional subset of scheme, and that's probably not even a proper subset. But if I press this button, then this exclamation mark will expand to the body of this definition, and the argument will triple itself to the places of the occurrences of n in that body. So, and the sort of parentheses will fade away. So this is what it looks like. Now, yeah, we can go back. So now, as you can guess, we have this expression, and it will evaluate this sub-expression, the test of the if expression. And it is obviously going to be false. So in the next step, this expression will be moved to the top left corner, and everything else will fade away. So this is what it looks like. I'll just play it to see the result, because we're all excited to learn it. Yay! So, do you have any questions so far? No? The question should be, does it also work in the terminal? Let's find out.
How would you click in the terminal?
Pardon?
How would you click in the terminal? Or is it
with a mouse. With a mouse. I mean, I can, because, you know, terminals these days, they also support things like, you know, like a mouse.
So is this like cursives, or is it like, because I've tried to write these little like terminal user interfaces before, and I ended up using it in cursives.
Well, it's a Java library called Lanterna.
I see.
Yeah, and it's not like that I'm a psychopath that I made this. It actually has some purpose. So if we evaluate this expression and then move down to here and press tab, I think something maybe wasn't evaluated properly. Let me see. I'll rerun it, because maybe the split may have caused some malfunction. It's not that I'm maintaining this terminal client with a lot of effort. So let's see if this, yeah, it works. So I press tab now, and ta-da! Yeah, and we see that the result is the same, so no surprise here. Okay, so when it comes to the demo, I think this is everything that I have to show, but since we are at ICFP, a lot of you probably are wondering what exactly does it have to do with family planning. And I don't have a direct answer, but I can give you some hints. But I will need to rerun this phone connection. Oh, it broke again. I mean, the USB seems to be somewhat broken. Okay, so Andy was showing us a game written in Galhood, and it was a game written for the Spring List Game Jam. And this year, since I have a 5-year-old daughter, I decided to make a game for her in the same game jam. And I can tell you that my game ranked literally last in the contest. And this is a game for teaching alphabet. So I decided it's an Android-only game because Android provides text-to-speech and speech-to-text services. So the idea here is that I need to assemble a word. The current word is Paula, which is the name of my daughter. I can maybe, I think it might need a while to run, for the text-to-speech service to run. Maybe, or maybe something's hijacking my audio. So maybe the thing is, when I assemble, when I drag or pick up a tile, the phone pronounces the letter. So it says P-O-L-L-A. I think that something's malfunctioning because ordinarily, oh yeah, now it works. Now it works, so I don't know. Hello. Yeah, and now I need to assemble hello. And it's an application that talks and listens, and you're probably wondering what it has to do with Grasp. It actually is a special type of extension. So it's called letter tile board. This has to be capital B. And here we have, I don't know, maybe ICFP. And here I need to provide the function say and ask. Yeah, and if I press tab on it, we can see the small version of it. And now if I double tap on it, it maximizes to the game itself. So the idea here is that, I mean, this approach to application development, that I should be able to build sort of small or big extensions and assemble them to applications. So the source code at this moment, it sort of tries to transcend the textuality, but it also tries to make the boundary between source code and the running application more sort of fuzzy. And this is I think, the big idea. Oh yeah. So this is Android keyboard. It is called Hacker's keyboard. Yeah, it's not my fault. Okay, so I guess I don't know. Do you have any questions, maybe?
So I teach Scheme sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I teach Scheme. This is an tool for teaching the substitutional model.
Mm-hmm.
And my question is, will I get surprises if I use this in a lab session or something like that?
Did you get some surprises?
Will it break?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
It probably will. But this is a call to action because I'm still working on it. I hope to have first sort of version that's okay to be published by the end of the year.
Okay.
So this is what I'm working on essentially in my spare time, but I cannot promise anything. So, yeah, but I'm like doing an effort to deliver this. So it, as you have seen, it might look impressive, but it's, well, there's still a ton of work to do.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, of course, all help is welcome.
Okay, thank you.
So are there any questions? Because, oh yeah.
Have you seen, I can see the mic, but I'm not sure if it's actually on. Have you seen Cyrus Omar's work and Andrew Blynn's
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
sure.
kind of stuff?
I mean, I follow them closely, and also Leif Anderson's interactive visual syntax.
Right. What would you say, not that you need any specific answer, I guess, but what would you say is kind of your inspiration, maybe versus the traditional work in structured editors, that kind of drives your motivation on this project?
Well, so my key motivations are twofold. So first, I broke my laptop, so I had to figure out a way to program on my phone. And second, yeah, I also often have to wait for my beloved one, for example, in a car, and I have nothing to do, so I can do programming. But other than this, I strongly feel that we are currently limited by, or I don't know, constrained by text. I'm currently working on an implementation of an A-star search algorithm that would utilize these visual extensions to sort of make it more understandable. And I figure that it's probably, at least at this point, much harder to develop non-textual code than it is to develop textual code. But I also believe that making your programs look more like comics, or I don't know, like IKEA furniture assembly manual, has a potential of making them much more easily readable.
Thank you.
I had a question, though it's a red screen right now. Okay. Yeah, so sorry, basic question about how it works. But so you can resize things in the interface, right, and move them around. Does that persist across different sessions?
I mean, you can save and load files. So actually, the architectural inspiration for the whole thing is Emacs. So I'm trying to make it sort of like Emacs, but that runs on Scheme rather than on Emacs Lisp, and which also has a proper graphic support.
Yeah. So how is it represented? Do you have separate from the textual file, or is it in the textual file? There's information about the layout.
So it's represented literally as textual scheme files. Everything is persisted as textual scheme files, which sort of means that not everything is persistable, unfortunately. Yeah, and this is something that I'm thinking about how to tackle.
Any other questions from the audience? Okay.
Okay. Thank you.